Today I'm talking about kettlebell. If you haven't seen or used one of these, you're missing out on a lot. It's the most versatile piece of portable gym equipment you can imagine. One thing you got to get down before you pick up a kettlebell are the basic moves. The squat, make sure your knees don't pass the toe line, make sure your back doesn't round out, and the Romanian deadlift. Look up here, show you how the Romanian deadlift works. How about the stance here? It's a nice athletic stance, like you're about to catch a rebound, or you're about to play defense. Just like this, nice slightly bent knees, just like this. And the motion comes from the hips. See, it is no upper body movement. Let's talk about the basic swing. The most basic move. Always pick it up like a proper deadlift. The important thing is that you're not swinging with your back. Now you can tell if you're swinging with your back, it's rounding out like this. So keep a nice flat back. You actually want to sink your chest out a little bit. Another key issue to stop you from using your back is you don't let it swing down too low. Because see right there, back is rounded out. You want it to end right about here. It should be feeling like it's about to hit you and jump. Don't worry, it's not gonna. Alright, so again, here's the basic swing. Alright, and another key point. You don't want to imagine it like you're swinging upwards. You want to basically pick a point on the wall in front of you and try to thrust it forward. Like you're just trying to come up. See how it does this motion? See out there? It's coming out. Now look at the difference. Here's using the upper body, it points down. This is not a swing, this is using the shoulders. This is using the hips. Alright, now, there's two basic ways you can do this that I've seen and I've had no problems with. You can transcribe it like the basic motion of the squat, using your knees and your hips, like so. Or you can just use nothing but the posterior chain, hamstrings, glutes, and the lower back spinal rectus as a stabilizer. It's not really doing any motion, it's just stabilizing. So here it is, using nothing but the posterior chain. You see no fold in the knees, only in the hips. And that way you feel a lot more activation from the hamstrings. Alright, once you master that move, you move on to one arm swing. Pick it up same way as a deadlift. Now here's a key point you want to get into, so it helps you with advanced moves like the snatch. We'll get into that later. As you come down, you want to point your thumb backwards. That really helps you with this motion right here so it doesn't smack you. That's called the snatch. That's coming up. And here it is, you call these daisy chains where you're switching back and forth. It's like, you can catch it or you can hand it off. Here's hand it off, here's catching. Alright, so those are the most basic moves. If you haven't mastered that, touch up on those before you move on to anything else. Now the next move, this might be, I personally found this a little bit harder to master than the snatch. And I think actually learn the snatch first. It's more beneficial towards the clean, but this is the proper way to teach it. So get it up like this. Now you want to start off like this. You want to start with just mastering the downward motion. So like right there, just throw my hips back. Just work on this motion right here. Do a bicep curl to get it up. Don't worry about that motion yet. Throw your hips back, and it comes out here from the side. See right there, throw my hips back, and let your arm go limp. It's all from the lower body. It's all from exploding with the lower body. So here it is in full motion. Okay, now this is where it's going to start smacking the hand a little bit. And as you come up, the motion is kind of comparable to punching in a glove. It's like, come in, because if you don't control it, it's going to smack you. Like, see how it's quick thrusting. Again from the side. Another key point you really want to start using from the get-go is as you come up, you open your hand. Because if you're holding on to it and you use 2 kettlebells, it's going to clank. It's going to hurt. Another key point, always in the center line of the body, never out here. Because kettlebell is all about endurance. You're supposed to be able to do the same thing for an extended amount of time as opposed to like standard weightlifting protocol where you're doing like 5, 20 reps, whatever your goals are. So, and another key point, it's not like the swing. See, that smacked my hand a little bit. It's a straight line. Imagine a wall in front of you coming straight up. Alright, next move, call it a clean and press. And it's basically the same thing as a clean, but you just add a press. Now, this is where you can come into some strength and mass, or you can come to some athletic movement. See, here's some more strength and mass, here's more athletic movement. See, I'm using my legs, and just using that tricep to lock it out, triceps and shoulders. So here is strength and mass, here's athletic. Alright, and the last move I'm going to show you today is called the snatch. Now, man, you've got the swing down, you've got the clean, work on those 2 moves. The last move is get it all the way up here, and it's a lockout. So here it is. This is where it really helps to have your thumb pointed backwards. And again, imagine a wall in front of your body. You're not coming up like this. That might work with little weight, but it's not gonna once you get heavy. So you're gonna get really, really sore forearms. And one thing about the kettlebell that you gotta get used to is it's gonna smack you in the hand. It's gonna smack you in the wrist. There's no going around it. Just gotta get used to it and find the way how it's not gonna smack you. So here's the snatch at full speed. Alright. Thing is, you explode up and you lock it out. Now, the way to keep it from smacking you in the hand is comparable to a punch forward. As it comes up, you punch forward, you beat it to the punch. You gotta time it just perfect. It all comes to the issue with timing. So here it is without the punch. Wow, that wasn't a good example. Yeah, that kind of hurt a little bit. That's how it should be done. Okay, breathing. There's different kinds of ways you can breathe with a kettlebell. Obviously, if you're doing like a strength and mass thing, you want to breathe out as you exert the force. Now, if you're going for more like an endurance kind of thing, it typically works better if you use what's called anatomic breathing, which is basically the opposite. So here is the swing with anatomic breathing. Alright. Now the snatch. This is my personal preference. I found that it helps me keep oxygen a little bit better. I breathe out here, I breathe out here. That's my personal preference. You experiment with however you want to do it. So, alright. Master those moves before you move on to anything advanced. Now, I have invented my own move here. I call this the flipper. There's really 3 kinds of grips you can use with the kettlebell. Here's 1, here's 2, and here's 3. And this is a combination of grips 1 and 3. So you start out, do a thruster, throw it up, do a swing. Master that, go into like a one-handed. Work with that. And remember, this is more of an endurance conditioning kind of thing. Implement this along with your standard weightlifting protocol if you want to switch it up from the standard routine. Until next time.